Hello, everyone. My name is Gregory, and this is The View from Out Here. Mary Teresa Bojaxiu, better known as Mother Teresa, died on September 5th, 1997. By that time, I had long since given up on the Catholic Church, so I didn't hear about it until a decade later. As a young Catholic, Mother Teresa was presented as a role model for good Catholics, so I grew up reading about her work with poor people in Calcutta. I wrote about it in October 2007 when I was first starting my old internet blog. Since I admit that I'm a little overwhelmed by the tsunami of BS gushing out of the White House right now, I thought I'd reach back into the archive to do a piece that I think still holds up after almost 20 years. Here's what I wrote back in 2007 on learning of Mother Teresa's passing. I don't know if I'm alone here or not, but the passing of Mother Teresa, coupled with the release of some of her letters and other writings, brings up a couple of significant points that I hope is making people think a little differently about religious teaching in general, and because it's the religious tradition I'm most familiar with, Catholicism in particular. I feel like I need to mention that I'm not an atheist, even though a legitimate argument can be made that I often sound like one. I do share a disdain for religion with atheists, and I agree wholeheartedly with the lion's share of what they say about religion. It appears from Mother Teresa's writings that I'm in pretty good company this Sunday morning. This remarkable woman was a global icon of faith in God. She won a Nobel Prize for it, for Christ's sake, literally. She personified proper adherence to the religious teachings of Catholicism. She followed the Christian playbook so closely that she became the icon, the living example of how it should be done. Not even the Pope, any Pope, has had the Christian street cred that Mother Teresa had. Because of these writings, I have a lot more respect for Mother Teresa now than I ever had while she was alive. I had pretty much written her off as a religious robot, a woman who responded with near perfection to what the Catholicism teaches, right down to the last letter in the playbook. I could recognize it in her because I had spent the bulk of my youth trying to do an approximation of the same thing. Not nearly as well, mind you, but that was my intent, and I was good enough at it to have had to spend the rest of my life so far recovering from the damage caused by it. What I never suspected of her was that she was a living, breathing, thinking human being underneath all that Christian propaganda. She got screwed by what I call the romantic Christian fantasy. Every religion has its own version of it. The trappings of religion, that being what the proponents of that particular religion created around it to recruit for the religion and advance its worldly cause. You might equate it to the platform of a political party. At its core, that's what a religion is, after all, a man-made political platform for a specific worldview. I believe her very heart was in what she was reflecting to the world. However, it was all based on a story and a socio-spiritual structure that had been twisted, molded, reconfigured, and manipulated over 2 millennia into a grotesque assault on the core of what the story was really about. So I'm delighted that she recognized that before she left. It's had a tremendous impact on me to know that. I feel a little bit less alone this Sunday morning because I had a sister all these years who didn't even know it. Mother Teresa became so totally disillusioned about Catholicism that she was taught by the church that she decided that she didn't believe in God at all. Having gone through much of the same training, I agree with her. The way God is portrayed by religions is unbelievable, and for a very good reason. It's just not true. That's why all religions rely on the concept of faith to keep folks in the fold. If they didn't push the faith button all the time, people would realize that they're being fed a political agenda about a particular worldview and likely start looking for truth. Truth is not a very good thing for religions. It challenges their political platform. God bless you, Mother Teresa, for recognizing that you had been screwed before you left. I think more of you because you had trusted yourself and had enough strength of character to even consider the possibility that the church may have been wrong about God all along. But my dear sister, you were not screwed by God. You were screwed by an organization that presents itself as a representation of God. There's a difference. You were screwed by people with a political agenda for a world view. The fact that Mother Teresa did not stop doing what she was doing because of her epiphany about the existence of God is equally important to me. It brings up an issue that all religions push as part of their agenda. Without faith in God, there would be no reason to do good works, and the entire planet would descend into selfish chaos and bloodshed. All religions teach that if you do not believe in God, then you are by default a homicidal sociopath. Also not true, and Mother Teresa came to my rescue on that point too. There are natural laws at work in the world that can be proven. Karma is a law that states that what you create or bring forth into the world will at some point return to you. Goodwill and bad will are both included in that equation. Charles Manson is getting his, and Mother Teresa is getting hers too. Mother Teresa put love, sacrifice, compassion, care, and work into the world, and she is now at peace, and her memory is loved, appreciated, and imitated by uncountable people the world over, today including me. And Charles Manson suffers the fate of existing in his own twisted mind for the rest of his life, followed by a memory of disrespect and abhorrence. Mother Teresa found a reason other than God to continue a life of service to her fellow inhabitants of Earth. Who knows what that reason may have been, but it disproves the teaching of all religions that I mentioned. If you do good works, you create a more loving place to exist. That can be proven. If you do bad works, you create a more hostile environment in which to exist. That also can be proven. And the existence or absence of God is not central to its truth. Let the debate begin. As usual, I want to thank you for hanging with me so far. Please know that I don't take it lightly. Be sure to check out the description below because I have some things that I believe are worthy of your attention and will help me out a great deal. Like the books I wrote for you, Searching for St Germaine, Basic Video Production, and Video Podcast Primer. You'll find links in the box below. And if you have Kindle Plus, you can enjoy all of them for free. Meanwhile, my name is Gregory, and this has been The View from Out Here. Much love.